Hey guys, Vector the Guy here. Alright, today we're doing something a little different. No tutorials this time. I decided to challenge myself instead. And honestly, I thought it'd be fun to let you all watch me struggle a bit. So here's the deal. I'm building a base. Nothing too crazy, just a simple medium-sized one. But there's a catch. I can only use one material. Yep, just oak wood. Can I actually make something that doesn't look completely awful? Or maybe, could it even look good? Well, we're about to find out.
So I just finished creating this world, and my first step is to find a place with enough space to start my idea. Preferably a nice flat plane. You know, the classic, easy to build on Minecraft real estate. I'm gonna look around and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I found this plane here, and as you can see, it has a few holes and some uneven terrain. I'll fix that. Here's a quick time lapse of me cleaning up the area.
I started by marking the height I wanted for my plane using red blocks, and then I used the Axiom mod along with World Edit to shape the terrain and turn it into a nice, flat area. Perfect for building my masterpiece.
And as you can also see, there's a village right next to us, which is perfect because I fully intend to humiliate the local villagers. They will witness true greatness, built entirely out of oak wood. And honestly, considering the architectural masterpieces these villagers live in, I'm pretty sure even a wooden box would impress them. But don't worry, I plan to offend them on a spiritual level with this build.
All right, guys, let's get back to our goal and take a look at which blocks we can actually use. I'm going with the full oak palette, but only oak, nothing else. Oak logs, oak wood, the stripped things, and of course, the classic vanilla planky shitties. Let's place everything on the ground so we can visualize it. I obviously included fences and gates for details, otherwise everything would literally look like a cardboard box. We can also use oak trap doors and buttons. Signs aren't a bad idea either. Let's drop everything here. So this will be our entire color and material palette, all right? There are a few other blocks that technically fit the oak-ish spectrum, like beehives or maybe the loom block, but I'm not using those. I'm staying faithful to the challenge.
All right guys, here's where I'm actually talking you through what I was doing during the recording and what ideas I had along the way. At this point, I still wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to build, so I started with the idea of making a small wooden tower, obviously. Nothing too tall, because the taller your build is, the more depth and detailing you need to make it look good. So I decided to make a thicker section at the bottom, and then raise it up into a slightly narrower but taller top section. After a few attempts, I ended up with a simple little result that I actually liked, at least in terms of the basic shape of the tower. So I also added a cone-shaped roof on top of it. Once I had this simplified tower model, I started getting more ideas to expand the build. So I decided to make a wooden fence, kind of a medieval-style palisade. I managed to get a result that felt simple, but pretty cool, using only oak. Believe me, it's not as easy as it sounds. After finishing the palisade section, I decided to make a big entrance, like one of those kingdom gates. I started by shaping where the pillars would go, the ones that would support the gate bars, you know. Then I worked on the arch, trying to keep it uniform and organic, using stair details and trapdoors to smooth things out. After that, I extended the palisade a bit more and copied the tower to the other side, creating the entrance to our base, completely and gloriously made out of oak wood. You can see that one way or another, this thing's actually starting to take shape, and the villagers can already feel what's coming for them. I added a few small details like spikes on the palisade and finished the gate area. I considered making something more detailed here, but then I remembered I was feeling lazy, so I just filled everything with fences and called it a day. Here's where I started building the foundation of what would become the main house of the base. Normally you'd use stone, tuff, deep slate, all that good stuff.
to make a nice foundation with shadows and cool textures. But no, I'm here building the base of my main house with old, dirty oak wood and hoping it somehow turns out beautiful. Ah, the things you guys ask me to do.
So I tried adding some kind of depth here, but I ended up not liking the results, so I flattened everything back. After that, I raised the pillars of the house and started marking where the roof would go, the size, the height, all of that, so I could start getting ideas for how I wanted the house to look and how I'd shape its details. I ended up choosing the classic triangular roof, but I added a lower middle section to give it a bit more emphasis. I closed up the walls and started adding windows and a few small details. Then I worked on the wall detailing using oak wood and signs, trying to give the build some depth and personality, but I'll be honest, it was rough. Using the same material for everything is pure torture. After that, I extended the roof backwards to define the dimensions for the walls and the rest of the house. I closed the side wall and started working on the entrance.
You know, I don't have a lot of options here. I'm basically changed to the basics. But believe me, I'm still trying to make something that will at least pretend to look beautiful in the end. And while I was building this, my brain kept throwing ideas at me like it was running a sale. One second, I'm thinking maybe I should add a side tower, and the next second, I'm imagining an entire fortified kingdom with multiple districts, guard posts, farms, a giant castle. But how can I do that with only wood? But then reality kicks in and goes, buddy, you don't have the time or the emotional stability for that. So I just stare at my oak blocks like, yeah, maybe in another lifetime. Still, even with the one material nightmare and zero time to follow my genius ideas, somehow the build starts to come together. Since the entire roof was made of wood, I tried to create some kind of gradient to give it a bit more texture. The problem is that, once again, I could only use wood. So I tried transitioning from the darker tones to the lighter ones in the oak spectrum, and you tell me what you think. Personally, I think it looks terrible, but hey, that's what we've got today. I added a few more details on both sides of the roof, and now that I'm watching this part again, I'm thinking I really should have added more height variation, maybe some trapdoors or signs. That probably would have given it a bit more personality. But to break up the monotony of the roof a little, I decided to add another section, also with the triangular roof, but flipping the shape in the opposite direction. This new roof section cuts right through the main roof in the opposite direction. After that, I opened up the whole section, filled in the walls, and decided I'd come back later to figure out what the hell I'm doing with it. I added a few small details to the entrance, and then I decided to test something out. Yes, I started building a chimney for the main house, completely out of wood. And at this point, you're probably thinking, oh, Vector, how can you build a chimney made entirely of wood? Are you out of your mind? How are you supposed to burn coal and keep a fire inside that? Everything's gonna catch fire. Yeah. You know what? F off. And honestly, I built it this way on purpose. I'm hoping everything catches fire. All right, let's be honest. My imagination hit rock bottom here. I couldn't think of anything better than a chimney. So yeah, don't judge me. Anyway, moving on. I finished the windows on the back side, and on that new roof section, I invented another random window. Then copied it to the front because why suffer twice, right? I tried adding a few extra details, but I hated every single one of them. On the back, I also tried to repeat that garbage gradient I made on the front. At this point, I started extending the perimeter of our base, dragging the palisade and another tower in the same direction as the other one, and just closed everything off, completing the whole wooden enclosure. Nothing too impressive here. Now, with the overall shape of my fully oak base pretty much done, I figured it was time to finish detailing the corner towers. So I added some depth and a few details, using, of course, the cursed oak wood yet again. After a handful of attempts and designs that made me consider uninstalling Minecraft, I finally landed on something simple that at least didn't make me cry. So yeah, I just copied everything over to the other towers, and that's it. Then we hit an annoying part. For some reason, I absolutely hated the main gate of the base. I don't know why the hell it looked so weird, kind of like me. So I just broke the whole thing and rebuilt a new one in the same style. In the end, it looked slightly better, maybe. I don't know, man. After that, I started building the area where I wanted to keep the animals, because obviously, what kind of medieval build doesn't have a stable and a bunch of pigs, right? I made like 10 different stalls so you can have every possible flavor of barbecue. I mean, every animal variety you'd ever want. I wrapped it up by adding some details, tweaking here and there, and closing off each section, as you can see. Cute, isn't it? All right, so I started working on the crops. Potatoes, carrots, all the good stuff. And right in the middle of building my beautiful little farm, I had the brilliant idea of making a path, like a nice path leading from the main gate to the house entrance. The problem? Using this wooden garbage, everything looked absolutely terrible. So I just wasted my time, hated every second of it, and reverted everything back to normal. I think I'm hitting my limit.
I finished and expanded the crops just to see how everything would look and to decide whether I wanted to change or extend anything. I figured it would be nice to add another small field next to the gate, as you can see. And since my creativity was basically in a coma at this point, I decided to fill in some of the terrain around and inside the base with grass. I even added a few flowers inside the courtyard to see if that would bring some life into this monochrome nightmare. I still didn't like the inner courtyard though. I kept staring at it, poking around, trying to see what I could change. With the massive, gigantic, overwhelmingly diverse range of options I had available. Until I finally decided to redo the whole thing and fill the entire courtyard with wood in a nice pattern. And I'll be honest, this part I actually liked. It added a nice touch to the whole build. And since we're building everything out of oak wood anyway, might as well commit to the insanity, right? Here, as you can see, I added some animals to my barn, including a few exotic and rare species. What? I told you not to judge me. And there it is, guys, the final look of our build. Yes, I know it's simple, but it's the best I could manage, all right? I had to post the video somehow. I ended up adding a small extra detail on the roof above the house to make it look a bit different. I didn't record that part, but you can see it in the footage. It's not perfect, but considering we built everything using only oak wood, I'd say it turned out reasonably okay. Don't you think?
The video's not over yet. Remember when I said there was a village nearby? Well, I figured I should give those villagers a little gift now that we're officially neighbors. I always treat my neighbors very well, so I wanted to make something truly special for them. So yeah, I started building this gift on one of the corners of my base. It took a bit of effort, you know how it is, but after some tests and adjustments, I started getting it just right, making sure it would be a wonderful welcome present for my new best friends. Here, as you can see, I was still testing things. I had to lower it a bit because at the height it was before, the gift wasn't quite reaching its destination. But after a few tweaks, I finally managed to deliver the present straight into the main courtyard of my lovely new neighbors. And then, after a few more tests, I finally got everything perfect. I had one more small idea. Since I feel truly honored to be neighbors with these long-nosed fellas, I decided I wouldn't give them just one gift. So I went ahead and duplicated the present. Oh, man, what a tiring day. I worked way too much today. I'm so exhausted, I just want to fall on my bed and that's it. So I'm heading home to get some rest and take a good nap.
Oh, what a laziness. Let me grab my coffee and see if I can wake up a little.
Nice.
All right, time to fight through another day. Look at this beautiful weather. Blue sky and warm sunshine. Hello, my dear animals. How are you all doing? Hello, ladies. Having a good morning? Ooh, hello, gentlemen camels. How's everything over there? Enjoy the beautiful day. See you later. Ah, would you look at that? Such a bright and sunny day. It's so nice that I feel like greeting my lovely long-nosed neighbors from the nearby village. I hope they're having a good morning because it's about to get even better. Yep, that's right. Wishing you an amazing day, my dear villagers. I hope everyone is enjoying my gifts. Life is wonderful, isn't it? All right, folks, that's it. This is where I'm wrapping up the video. But before I officially end things, I wanted to add one last little inauguration touch to our base because, honestly, I actually started liking this place. So I had the idea that we should inaugurate the fireplace together. You might have had a little laugh at my expense, but trust me, it's going to be useful. As you can see, I added a small decoration here, and I gave myself the luxury of using nether blocks to light the fire. Obviously, because I'm not lighting a flame directly on a wooden floor, right? So I'm just gonna quickly swap these 4 or 5 blocks out for some netherrack. And now set it on fire, and that's it. So guys, thanks for watching until the end. I really enjoyed making this video, and I hope I managed to entertain you for a few minutes and maybe give you a good laugh or two. This project was tough, but honestly really fun to build, you know? Oops. I don't think that was supposed to happen, guys. Oh my god. No! Let me try to put this out. Oh man, that was not supposed to catch on fire like that. The fire was supposed to stay on top of the nether block. I didn't know it would spread like this. Oh my god. Oh, this is not good. Well, I think I may have lost control of the situation a little bit. This is definitely not what I expected. Oh my god. Did you see what I just did, Mr. Camel? This is horrible. What? Do you have something you want to say to me? Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna have to admit that building a chimney made entirely out of wood wasn't exactly my brightest idea. I mean, I couldn't use any other material, so I figured it would be fine as long as I used nether blocks to light the fire. But apparently 15 years playing this game still weren't enough to keep me from being a dumbass. This is not looking good. Not looking good at all. Oh my god, all my effort. Well guys, this is it. This is what, unfortunately, is left of our fully oak base. Look, I think I can fix this. Maybe? Maybe someday? Anyway, now I'm finally ending the video not exactly the way I expected, but it's fine. What matters is the challenge, right? Thank you so much if you watched all the way through. Leave a comment telling me what you thought, and don't forget to share and drop a like if at any moment you even cracked the smallest little laugh. even if it was at my misery in the end. All right, that's it. See you in the next one.